How are we doing, everybody?
Hola,
Welcome to another episode of Getting Jiggy With It. I'm Will.
I'm Adri.
And what are we doing today?
I'm going to guess what games will backed for in February.
In February, yep. So these are the games that I backed in February on both Kickstarter and Gamefound, and they'll arrive sometime in the future. Last time we did like a little challenge. We don't know if you guys liked the challenge or not. We didn't get any critiques, criticisms, compliments, complaints. So we figured this time what we'll do, because we are kind of late in getting this out, I'm just going to go through the campaigns. Adri will actually be able to look at them. So it's a little bit less of a challenge, and then she'll just decide whether she thinks I backed it or not. We are also adding at the very beginning, I'm going to go over a couple canceled campaigns, as well as a couple campaigns that we did preview content for that, of course, we didn't back, or we may have backed, but since we did preview content, there really isn't a reason to guess whether we backed it or not. So that said, let's go ahead and switch over to the website view. So the first one we have here is Dinamine. So Dinamine we did content for, right? So we do have a prototype of this game. This one unfortunately did cancel, and that's because the funding just wasn't coming in. Couple different reasons. They reached out, they said thank you. They were happy that we did the gameplay for them. We told them we would go ahead and do the gameplay for them again during the next campaign. We do still have the prototype, so we'll be able to do that. But I think the real reason I think is I don't remember seeing really any advertising or anything about it. But I mean, the campaign looked good. I mean, what they did, how they built out the campaign, you know, all the stuff that they had, I thought was done really well. So I'm not really sure what was keeping this one from going anywhere. The price really wasn't that bad either. The Gem Collector Pledge was $48, and that includes a copy of the game, and then the, I don't think that had the expansion though. And then you could get everything with, I think the expansion was 66, and that's Canadian dollars, so I forget what that translation is to US dollars. And there was a lot more than what we had, because right here there was these 4 great tiles that you could get. Translucent dice. The dice were translucent. So it was a lot of like nice upgrades that were available in the Kickstarter that even we didn't get to play with. Nice, you know, insert, of course. So hopefully this does come back. When it does, we will be doing gameplay for it. So yeah, so your regular gem collector, about $38 US. That's a good price for that game, for a small tile laying game. I was shocked that it didn't do it. So that was the first one that did get canceled. The second one, we didn't get to make our content because it canceled before we would have made our content. So this is Rogue Angels. Rogue Angels is a little game where it's a scenario-based game, and you're going through these different legacy adventures. We've got the prototype, of course, for it. We are going to play it, but we do have to wait again until this one launches. So this one just didn't do well. Again, I'm not sure if there just wasn't a lot of publicity, a lot of advertising around it. There was some content creation, but I don't think there was a lot of content creation around it. And I think maybe the look, it's just not visually appealing. They didn't really focus on the art and the graphics. So I'm not sure if that's what did it. The other thing is, like, of course it is, I mean, they had all these content creators do stuff for it, right? But a lot of it's not YouTube based, I don't think, I think most backers look at YouTube. They're used to looking at your big YouTube channels like Quackalope, Board Game Co., stuff like that. The other thing I think is the price. It was close to $100 for the base game, and that was with standees. I don't know if miniatures were supposed to be a stretch goal. I can't remember. So I think that was also a big thing. So I think they're going to go back and see if they can team up with a publisher to make it a little bit cheaper. So that is Rogue Angels. Again, legacy style space adventure game.
So when am I going to guess? After you said
once we go through these. Yeah. I mean, if you see one of these and you think, oh, we should have gotten it. Another one that canceled was Deeproot Dwellers. So this one you would probably really like, because it's real cute. Kind of looks like Everdell a little bit with the art, right, and the theme. But this was a game where it's basically 2 to 4 players, 30 minutes. It's a deck building worker placement. We've determined we're kind of liking, you know, deck workers, deck building and worker placement. So this looked like a really cute game. I did reach out to the publisher, so we will be able to do preview content of this once it becomes available. He's going to send us a prototype so we can do some content for this one. I don't know when he's going to relaunch, but I think, again, this is just another one of those ones that I heard nothing about until I found it on Kickstarter. So unfortunately, because of that, I think this one didn't do well, because this one price point, $45. This, I think, was a very nice price point. And there was only 2 pledges. There was that one, and then there was the retailer pledge. So it was a once and done, and it ships anywhere, right? He was doing, I don't know. This one really, really shocked me that it didn't get anywhere. And I think same thing. There was no advertising. I don't think there was much content creation around it. And a lot of times this happens with first-time publishers. They don't know the ins and outs of the Kickstarter environment. The next one we did preview for, Way Too Many Cats.
Yeah,
So we did preview Way Too Many Cats. We pledged it $1 because I always pledge at least $1 to the preview ones. This one, we had fun playing. I will probably check and see, reach out to the publisher if Adri wants to get a copy and see if we can get a final preview copy to bring for you guys so we can play the final copy on the channel for you. So a lot of times if we preview a game, I don't back the game because I'm going to reach out to the publisher, see if they'll provide us a copy, and if not, then I'll usually back it myself. So this one is a no as well. Tang Gardens. So this one, I've been looking at Tang Gardens for a while. This is another one where we're going to be getting a preview copy of it once it delivers. So Tang Gardens Seasons is the last expansion for Tang Gardens. Basically, in Tang Gardens, you're trying to build out a garden. And then this one here adds like different season mechanics. You're adding all these cute little trees and pagodas and different things to make your garden. I've looked at it in the past. I thought it was a cool looking game, the way that it played. So I was interested in it. So we should be getting a preview copy whenever this delivers. It's saying delivers in February 2023. So if you guys want to watch that content, then
so that's on the
subscribe. No, we haven't gotten to the guessing port yet. This is the entry of.
I need to do.
No, once we do, then we'll spend time on it. Once we get to one that we did. Last Resort. So Last Resort is another one that we are going to get a preview copy of. So this is a hotel simulator for 1 to 4 tycoons. I didn't get to see much about this one, but basically you're trying to build out your resort, and you're going to add different elements to your little resort. You see these little dots to make yours the best space station. So it's kind of like a little tableau building that you're doing here. So build your dream hotel. So the art looked really cute. I liked a lot of the Easter eggs they put inside of the art. So I reached out to the publisher, and we should be getting a preview copy of this one September 2022. That's what it says. So that's this year, actually. So that is Last Resort. The next is Trekking Through History. So this, again, we worked with Underdog Games in the past because we did Trekking Through the World, Trekking Through the national parks, and they gave us some games for Actual Life Game Day. So, of course, this was high on my list. This one I knew before the campaign started. We would be getting a preview copy once it's released. So this is another one we're going to be able to do. Unlike the other trekking games, it's different in the gameplay. So you're not actually playing on a map and traveling from place to place. Instead, you're kind of like traveling through time, and you have these different metrics to be able to score points off of. So it's a little bit different in the gameplay. A lot of people thought it was going to be the same, but beautiful art, great looking game here. And then they've actually got a upcoming game that's going to be based on women's history. I don't know if it's going to be trekking through women's history or what, but I do know they have another game coming up as well. So this will be another one that we will get a preview for. I think this is the last one that we'll be getting a preview copy. So Seas of Havoc is a tactical combat deck building game, worker placement game. You see a theme. It's that deck builder worker placement seems to be what's drawing me now. But it is pirate themed. So you liked Tiny Epic Pirates. You liked the Sea of Legends, right? You like those. So I figured this would be a fun game. So this is by who is it again? Mike Nade, which is Rock Manor Games. So Rock Manor Games, we are getting Apocalypse, Wasteland Apocalypse, something like that. There it is. Maximum Apocalypse Wasted Wilds. So we are getting that. I did this Kickstarter here last year. So we're going to be getting that. He's actually up in Delaware. And I just messaged him kind of jokingly saying, oh, I forgot, it was you that was making this. You're right across the border. We could have done some gameplay for you. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. The prototype's already out. And I said, well, that's okay. I said, do you send out preview copies? I was like, we can pledge $1 and then, just get it in the pledge manager. And he was like, sure. So that's what we did. So basically, we're going to go ahead and get a copy in the pledge manager, which means ours will get delivered the same times as everybody else's. So we'll have some content around this as well. This was getting really good reviews from a lot of people that were playing it at the conventions this year. So that is the last preview. Okay, so this is the first Kickstarter game that I either backed or didn't back. So this is Evolution New World. So this is a reprint of a game. So they've had other versions. So it's a popular science game in which you do the work of nature, creating animals, giving them traits essential to survival, thrive in an ever-changing environment. Over the course of 6 years, you will evolve your animals, you'll get food. Poorly adapted species will become extinct and fall prey to predators. So this is the updated version of the classic game. So let me see if they show how it plays, what reviewers are saying. So all these reviewers, look at all them reviewers. Lots of reviewers. So $35 for the core game. So you can see the price. Normally you don't get to know the price either. Your evolution cards, a bunch of animals, a bunch of places. And where is it? God, there's 50. I want to know how to play. This is the one thing people dislike about Kickstarter. Like Gamefound, I can go over here and just click on the videos, click on reviews, click on on the left side. Here I got to do this scrolling thing until we find it. And all campaigns put it in completely different orders. So there's, well, that was their how to play. Usually they have some animated stuff. Oh, here we go. So you create a new animal by adding a trait to an existing animal. You got this area where you're gonna have your animals. You're gonna feed your animals. You're gonna have them search for shelter. They can get attacked by predators. You have an extinction phase where the hungry animals go adios. Yeah, so that's basically it. So that is Evolution New World.
I say yes.
Yes, I did back this one. So I did back this one.
Animals.
We like animales. So it was only $50, so $50 is not bad. That's for the Master Evolution, which includes New World core game, Butterfly Effect expansion, the Kickstarter exclusives, and all unlocked stretch code. So Adri is 1 for 20, or 1 for 19. I think we have 19 total tabs to go through. So Adri did bien. All right, so the next game is Unfair. So I don't think I need to explain Unfair to you, but I will explain Unfair to everybody else. So Unfair is a game, we've played Funfair. Unfair is very similar to Unfair in the fact, or Unfair is very similar to Funfair, except for it's unfair. There's a lot of take that mechanics. So this was for the newest expansion, which is Comicbook, Hacker, Kaiju, and Ocean. You basically add it to the main Funfair game. They had a previous expansion which had aliens, B-movies, dinosaurs. But what you're trying to do is build a fair. So you have a tableau of cards that you're going to get. And then you're trying to build up off of those cards. So I don't know. See if we get it to a screen here that shows them building the tableau. So those are the new expansions. They also revealed some of the new expansions that will be coming next. So like Steampunk, Legendary, things like that, Underground. So they're going to do one theme per every letter of the alphabet. So that's their goal. And then they'll have a full big box as well. They added solo mode. So here we go. So we have a picture here. So basically you're trying to build out your rides, and then you add additional cards to your rides to build that ride up. And you can only have so many rides, and each thing is going to combo off of each other to basically get you more points. On Unfair, though, there's going to be events and things that can happen against you, which make you destroy parts of your park or other things like that. So, for example, the Hacker expansion, you'd have to hire yourself a computer guy to stop one of your opponents from hacking your park, right? Things like that. So this is Unfair CHKO expansions. I'd back it or not.
See.
See?
No.
No. Unfortunately, I did not back this one, and that's because we have Unfair. And I wish there was, or we have Funfair. And I like Funfair.
Oh, well, yeah, we talked about...
And I would like to have expansions for Funfair, but they don't plan to make expansions for Funfair. So then I was like, well, I could get Unfair, but the problem is I would want to get everything that's been released so far, and it's like $124. And there's really no benefit to getting it on Kickstarter. There's no benefit because the only thing you get are some cards that are eventually going to be their own packs. You just get them early. So for me, I'm like, no. We've also got a working relationship, so we may be able to get a preview copy of it from Good Games. So that was the other reason I didn't. Since we've done work with them before, I mean, I even gave it a still happy face. I decided I wasn't going to back anything now. I can always change my mind in the late pledge. I'll reach out to them and see about it, but maybe not.
Okay.
All right. So next is Rolling Heights. So I've got to put my little screener back up. All right. So Rolling Heights, it is a tower building game. So remember in Mountain Out of Molehills, I was talking about there's another game where you build up, and that's how you score points. So that's what this is with Rolling Heights. You're basically rolling, instead of dice, you're rolling meeples. So you roll meeples into a box, and then you're going to build out little places, like little areas and tiles on the board, and then you're going to build up your towers off of those. So there you go. So you roll the meeple, and basically if they're laying down on the job, they're no good. If they're standing up, then they're, I think, worth a point or something like that. So, and you get if you roll too many and they lay down, then you can actually come out with like busting, kind of like it's a press your luck. You roll and you can actually bust. So this is coming out from AEG. So we've done things with AEG, right? Everybody likes it. There's Alex liking it. There you go. Motivate. Don't push your workers too hard or they'll strike. So it's like thematic. Then you get your tiles, put your tiles down, and then you start building up your towers up off of it. So did I back it or did I not?
You're so tricky. But I would say yes.
Say yes. No, I did not back this one. So again, I wanted to, and I think with these, a lot of these, we're right on that edge of when Marvel Zombies closed too. So because I've spent so much on Marvel Zombies, I had to pull back a lot. So the ones I pulled back from were the ones where there wasn't that much of an advantage of getting it on Kickstarter versus retail because there wasn't that much in the way of exclusives, or we've worked with the publisher. So it's easy for me to reach back out to AEG and be like, hey, we'd like to do a review copy of it. So that's why I didn't. Again, can always add it in the pledge manager if money becomes better after I've reached out to whoever I need to reach out to, right? So I did not back Rolling Heights, but it does look fun. And there are 3 games that people are comparing this to, which is Quacks of Quedlingburg, which we've never played. Cubitos, which we liked. We saw the box. It's got that big cheese, which people like, and that's from AEG. And then Rolling Heights is kind of like the sequel to Cubitos. And it's everybody's liking this. A lot of people say that they're liking it better than the other 2. So definitely might be worth checking into. All right. So next we have Astro Knights. All right. So Astro Knights here. So Astro Knights is a remake of a card game called Aeon's End. It is a deck building card game where you and your other Astro Knights are buying weapons and gear and things like that to be able to take out a big monster, right? So cooperative, that's always key, cooperative deck building game where players take up the mantle of the Astro Knight to defend the universe. Defenders of the universe. They did a very kind of homage to like Voltron, Power Rangers. It's got that vibe to it in terms of color and aesthetics and everything. Some people were even saying because of the colors like yellow, purple, orange, they were thinking of like Green Lantern with DC Comics. So there's all your characters. I don't know if I have another picture of how to play. So fuel your star cards, upgrade your deck because it's a deck building game, equip your weapons, and then you got your boss, And your boss is going to get more and more difficult as you play because he starts to add extra, more difficult cards into the deck based on like if he's got over so much health or under so much health, things like that. And there's everybody doing all the reviews. Yeah, so there's your bosses. What do you think?
I need to look at your eyes.
How the eyes have the eyes helped the first two games? Oh, there it is. $39 is how much the game cost. Includes one copy of Astro Knights and the Orion system expansion. So that's basically everything for $40. There's all your components. You get a nice little. Oh, can't have enough health dials.
I would say yes.
Yes.
Because it's co-op.
And it's a deck
builder. Like
builder.
it. And it's a deck builder. And you like Astro thingies.
Yes. So we did back this one, $39. That was a good deal. The next option up was the all-in, which included a playmat. And playmats are good for video, for showing you guys, but playmats aren't really that good for much else. So we did not get the playmat. So we did back Astro Knights. So Adri is 2 for 19. I think that's the second one you got right? Second one. All right. So Old London Bridge. This is from Queen City Games. So in this, you're trying to build London Bridge, Old London Bridge. The Old London Bridge burnt down a long time ago. You've heard about that, right? Mm-hmm. And they had to rebuild it. And so what you're trying to do is collect these tiles, and you're trying to place the houses, but in order to place them, they have to be in a sequential order. So you'll see here, this says 50, 48, 40, 34, whatever. So you have to place them in a sequential order. You only have so many. And you're pulling from this group here in the middle, right? So this is, we're talking about the Great Fire destroyed it. So fun game, 3D bridges. Each round gives interesting things. So let's see here. That's their other games, Luxor, so you can get bundles with some of their old games. Let's see if they have a turn overview. Here you go, gameplay. So yeah, so it's a rondelle. So a rondelle means you got this little round thing. You choose which one you want, worker placement, then you pick up the building, and then you add it and slot it in basically in the particular row. There's certain abilities you get off of each of the buildings. Yeah, so and then it's just showing like you have to place it in the right thing, and then it shows the symbols. So at the end, earn additional coins if you meet the conditions in the game box. Also advanced play. Yeah, so that's London Bridge. Oh, and there's your contents.
How much was that?
There's the contents. Does it get to the price? Or was the price up there at the top? I think the price was way up here. All right. Zoom. Urge. There you go. Kickstarter, $49. They were saying a MSRP retail price of $75.
I'd say no.
Say no? You are correct. I did not back this one.
¿Por qué?
I didn't back it. It looked interesting. I did watch the gameplay that Meeple University did, and it seemed kind of interesting, but even at the $50, like the $75 MSRP, I feel is way too high. I get times, but even at the $50, I felt like that was still a little bit higher than I really wanted to pay for the game. And Queen's Games, they've been doing this a lot with a lot of their games. They have been a little bit more expensive than what I feel comfortable. And the problem is when you do it once, then every game you release now I think is too expensive. Even if it's not. 50 honestly probably is not bad considering the way the world is right now. But I don't know if there was enough gameplay there that I would like it for $50. And I don't know if anything you saw makes you say, yes, I'd want to spend $50 on that game.
Not really.
Yeah, so I didn't do it. And I think that's also when I look at it, when I think about it, I'm like, would Adri want to play this? You'd want to play everything, but some things more than others, right? All right.
Sip, sip, sip.
See. All right, so we'll go ahead and cover you back up. Let's go to the next one. All right, so this is Floating Floors. So this is a tactical game. So this is a dexterity game. You're both playing as like these little ninjas, and you are trying to get across these floating floors. So these are the base tiles, and then you have like water, you have land, and then these are the floor tiles that you'll be able to put on. And so the white ninja can only move on the white tiles, the black ninja can only move on the black tiles, or if you add something like one of these little blocks or something, you can move on those blocks. And the way you lay these tiles is you have to do the same thing. You roll dice, and then you pick up the cubes or the pieces that the dice showed. So you got like a white piece, you have a black piece, and then you can lay your tile on top of it. Then you need to navigate across the floor to get to your jitsu. So once you get your jitsu, so you got to be able to turn the tile. So once you get to your jitsu, like you did there, you have to be able to turn the tile and then pick it up. So because you don't necessarily know what, you have to remember what these positions of things were underneath to know, okay, if I turn this, is it going to be unsteady and my ninja is going to go falling off, right? And that's basically the game. There are a bunch of stretch goals unlocked, upgraded dice, things like that, rulebook, subscribers, what's in the box. So it is $25, 35 Australian dollars, but 25 US dollars. Get a bunch of shaped wooden pieces, some dice, some ninja meeples, some ninjeeples, a backer gift.
I would say C.
I backed this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
C?
I did back this one, 25 bucks. Yeah, definitely do it. This one was in collaboration with Ella from Meeple University. So Stella, said Ella. Stella, Carl, and Mark. So the designer and then the group from Meeple University. They helped design this one. Looks very interesting, nice little tactile puzzle type game. I don't think we have many dexterity games where you're having to like steadily place things and line them up.
No, it reminds me, the only one is the cats, I forgot the name, the one Jaden has. That
That one, yeah. So that one was by Something Cat Studios. It's the one that we did the space fighting game with. Alley Cat. Yeah, Alley Cat, yeah. So I did back that one. That is Floating Floors. All right, and then put the little thingy back up. All right, so the next one is Mind Management Secret Mission. So this was a reprint. They do, of course, in order to make a new Kickstarter, they have to come out with new, so they added some new secret missions. So this is a hidden role game. So one person is hiding on the map, the other person is trying to find, or the other people are trying to find that person. And there are certain things you can do in terms of your movement that can give clues about where you are. Trying to find a game board. There we go. So like, for example, here, you're basically, you're moving around this board, and then based on certain clues that you give, they would have to determine, okay, you're 3 moves away, but you've not gone through a palm tree location yet, but you've gone through a bird location. So you couldn't have gone this way, but you could have gone like maybe this way, right? So we know you didn't go up because you haven't gone through a palm tree location, right? So the other person's hidden. You don't know where they are. They're moving around, and then you're moving your people around to try to find them. That's the basic principle of a hidden movement game, right? It's kind of like hide and seek, but the board game. How to play videos. I don't know if they're going to actually show any how to play on here. Shift system. This is based, I didn't even know this. This is actually based, there's a comic book called Mind Management. Didn't even know that. All the reviewers, playthroughs, rules, and shipping. So yeah, I guess that is it. That's it. I guess they didn't have to put a lot on this one since it is a reprint.
Let's say...
There's no jelly beans involved in this one. No, I did back this one. So there are not many hidden movement games that are good for 2 players. This one, everybody says, is one of the best hidden movement games at 2 players. So that's why I backed this one, because we've not played any hidden movement. The other one that came out that was on Kickstarter a while ago, it was called Beast, and it was getting rave reviews as well. But then like Jesse and Quackalope and a lot of the different ones said though at 2 players, would be the one they'd want to play. More than 2 players, they'd want to play Beast. Since we play everything 2 players, we'll get this. And it's also a comic book, so I can go get the Mind Management comic books, check that out, read it. Maybe it'd be interesting. I've heard the comics are pretty good. I think it was Tom Bassel. I think he went and read all of them before he played. So I did back that. That is Mind Management. That was 112 Canadian, so that's 88 US dollars for the deluxe edition with the nice chunky meeps, because we like the chunky meeps. All right, put my blinder back up. Next, really what I need to do is just have a post-it note there. That would probably solve the problem. All right, Chang'an. So Chang'an is a card tableau building game, and then you have your little wooden meeples there. The game is played many ways according to part of the city. So you're trying to develop your city, manage features. You're going to use different decks, and you can switch them in and out to make it different every time you play. So inside the box, Kickstarter edition, 30 euros. That's about $37, I think, roughly around there. So here are your different cards: commercial cards, production cards, science cards, regular tokens, cardboard, of course, in the default edition. And then they have the deluxe, Silk Roads, and then there's an expansion for the Silk Road. You've heard of the Silk Road, right? Silk Road was where they were transferring silk from China to Europe. So it's called the Silk Road. That's why they went over the desert. The All-In, which is the deluxe, is 48 euros, so probably about 55, 56 bucks. Upgrade to metal coins, all unlock stretch goals. So how to play. So first you research. You take 1 face down card from the city or visible and basically add that, and then you pay for it. Produce. Decide which one you want to perform. So you're basically going to perform an action to produce your resources based on the cards you've been taking. You can build. So you can basically take one of the cards from your production and instead add it to your city, make your city bigger. And then the game ends as soon as a player gets 9 or more cards built in their city. Player with the most victory points wins. So that is, I forgot how to say the name. There it is. Chang'an. 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 See. All right. Did I back this one? No, I did not back this one. And it really was due to the price. This one was completely due to the price. And that's because the conversion. Now, if it would have been for the all-in, even at 48 US dollars all in, still would be a stretch for me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here. I think maybe that would have been like more of a yes than a no because of the deluxe components like the coins and stuff. These alone, 20 metal coins would cost you 20 bucks. So I could see that. But otherwise, there's not much else to the game. I mean, how many cards was it total? Yeah, so like cards you're looking at, oops, it was up here. You're looking at 16, 32, 48, 50. Okay. You're looking at less than 100 cards. That's really it. I mean, you get bits. You get a lot of bits. I don't know. I just thought it was too expensive for what it was. So I did not back it. It does seem interesting, and I'll probably kick myself for not backing it. But again, it can always go in the late pledge manager. I don't know if retail is going to be that much more expensive. They've done, I'm trying to find it, where is it? They had these other games before. Oh, here it is. So they had, no, that's not it. Yeah, here it is. Momiji. So it's another one except for you're building with, I think, nature and stuff. So they had another game before. It did pretty well from what I understand. It was actually a pretty good game. People like this one. So I don't know. Maybe not. We don't know. So I did not back that one. That was a no. And this is kind of the same thing. See, here's the deluxe game for 25. And that looks like it has almost the same amount of components as the new game they just released. All right. So the next one is Kalinasu. Kalinasu, the immersive adventure escape room game. So this is an escape room game. So 4 escapes in 1 box, 50 challenges. 4 mystery envelopes, a mind-blowing story. You have to go to different websites to investigate, and then high-quality materials. So that is pretty much it here. They're going to show you their puzzles are a little bit different. So they're showing some examples of what some of the puzzles could do. Like here, you put dirt on it and it makes it come up. Here, you're putting like that popped out. So you had to stick a stick.
Is that a puzzle, a glue puzzle?
I'm not sure. They're just showing examples. So you interact with the objects using pincers, paper, pen, dirt, a stick, folding things. This is like a map. It looks like you're doing something like it with a map. Digital puzzles. So you go out to the websites that I guess it tells you to go to and try to solve the puzzles there. Exploration. So there's like Google Maps and stuff that you use. Advanced puzzles, like they're putting it in water, different things like that. Lighting fire on it, so like hidden ink. So yeah, so it's basically, and it's a big escape room game. Did I back it?
How much was it again?
Did we get to the price yet? Choose your adventure. There we go. So the early bird, which I usually catch them within the early bird, so we can always look at that, was 53 euros, which is about $50.
40.
If you didn't get the early bird, then it was 65 euros, which is about 75 bucks maybe. And then the deluxe includes the deluxe artifact packaging. So it just has a bunch of extra stuff.
See? No.
No, I did not back this one, mainly for the price. $43, or like I said, probably close to $55 for an escape room game. It was 4 escape rooms, but
You don't love them.
I don't like them. You're right. I don't like them a lot. This is supposed to be delivered in June, it says, so it would have been delivered pretty quickly.
But I do.
I don't know if the components would be destroyed. It looked like, I mean, you're lighting things on fire, you're putting in water, which means that it's $50 for 4 games, whereas you can get the exit games for like 15-ish, right? Sometimes less if they're on sale. You can get some of the adventure games. You can get the unlock games. You can get the unlock for like, I think $30. You get 4 unlock adventures, and they're replayable, so you can give that to somebody else. So I don't know. It looks like it's going to have a lot of neat things, but considering I knew nothing about the company, I just wasn't going to spend that much for this escape room game. So that was a no on Kalinasu, the Immersive Adventures. All right, so next we have Crabs in a Bucket. So Crabs in a Bucket is a card game, if you couldn't tell from the card game. How to play manual. You get a how to play manual. You get some rule cards, a bunch of crabs with a bunch of abilities, and then you get some suited cards and a play mat. Well, I don't know if it's a play mat or a play board. Get a play thing. What people are saying, that's showing the how to play. Do they have a how to play where it's not? So the crab tier, your basic tier is 25. You get 1 game, all stretch goes. Buy one, get one, basically you're getting 2. Joker tier, you get a bunch of stickers and a bunch of stuff. But basically for the game, it's $25 for the game and includes free shipping. So that's another thing with a lot of Kickstarter games, and you're probably not aware of, is that price doesn't include shipping. So when I'm talking about like, I didn't like it because of that price, that was the price before maybe adding another, maybe $20 for shipping a lot of those games. So even like, so for example, London Bridge, that was that price plus I was going to have to add another $20 for shipping. Whereas if that's going to be the retail copy, I could pick it up, which for Queen Games, I can tell you that is the exact copy you get at retail. You'll be able to pick it up that and get free shipping. So you'd spend
So this one is
$20
25.
with free shipping. Yep. So add-ons, that's all the stuff they're having you add on. A nice little turtle, cute little turtle there. Hola, turtle. Stretch goals that were unlocked. How to play. Here we go. So who's going to be Lord of the Ocean? The goal is simple: get rid of your hand. So kind of think Uno, right? You're trying to get rid of all the cards in your hand. Each deck contains of the 22 cards. You have a bunch of suited cards, match suits. So kind of like a trick-taking game. By suit or number to start play. So again, Uno, right? Joker cards are basically like your wild cards in Uno. So, and then watch out for Jacks, Crabs, Kings. They block the Joker, Crabs, and punish opponents who can play. So kind of think of Uno with a crab theme, I guess.
I would say yes.
Yes. So I did back this, not because it was Uno, but because it was crab theme. We're up here in Maryland. We need to buy a game that involves crabs.
And it's $25
and it's-
change.
Yeah, $25 including shipping. Yeah. And actually, I got the early bird, so it was actually $20 with free shipping. So I even saved on the $5 it would probably cost for shipping. So this one I did back. I don't know if they're doing late pledges for anybody else. This was, I think, another one of those games that, so click here to get it. This is another game I think that flew under a lot of people's radars because it's not a big, fancy, overblown game, but for $20, seems like a fun little game, right? So we did back Crabs in a Bucket. All right. So the next one, I gotta find my mouse cursor. It was covered up by the book. The next one is Earth.
Earth.
Bonita. Is it pretty? You like the way it looks?
Sí.
All right. So here we go. So here's Earth.
Is that a trick?
Might be, I don't know.
Or a hint.
So wooden leaf tokens. You get some soil tokens. Here are the cards.
Beautiful.
Beautiful looking art. I don't know if they're photo, if they're digital. I don't remember. You build these little trees. Yeah, now this was the original prototype. There were these round domes, but they did change them into actual tree tops instead. And they're going to be different colors. So the first thing is you have to create your island. So you basically start with your cards. Then you're going to choose an action from the action wheel. So kind of think what we did with Terraforming Mars, right? This is very similar. You choose an action and everybody gets to take that action. So those games are kind of fun, although Terraforming Mars we struggled with. But it's not like, oh, I'm playing a card and I get this great benefit and you get nothing. No. When somebody takes an action, they get one and then everybody else gets the other benefit. So active players gains the major benefit, all others gain the minor benefit. You're going to gain resources, compost, dirt, soil. You're going to build yourself a tableau. You're going to activate your abilities, which gets you maybe some rainwater and different things like that. Once you complete the tableau, so think Everdell, right? Once you have the full tableau, that's the end of the game. Player with the most points wins.
Yes.
Why? Why are you saying yes to this?
Because I think you mocked him.
But what was there, like game mechanics, the
Because
art?
it is the art. Well,
Okay.
you said that you don't know if those are
Hang on, I didn't even get to the
pictures.
price though. Oh, there's the new growth
But
pieces.
you like the components. You said you
I could be faking it. I could
you
say
said
I like that.
it's similar to, well, somehow to Everdell.
I
It's
have to say that because I
nature.
have to give you an association to how it plays.
Yeah, that's why.
You want to change your answer?
Is it see? Oh, is it no?
See. I was trying to find the price. I couldn't find the price. But yeah, I did back it. It was $54 Canadian, which is $42 US. That's a really good deal. What is it? 178 plant cards, 65 terrain, 40. This was just a really good deal, and it looked like a really great game. Quackalope, they played it, and I watched their gameplay. It looked fun. It looked really
looks
fun.
so pretty.
It does. It looks very pretty. I don't know how language independent it was. It is not. It's got words. It has the words. The words mean is not language independent. But that is Earth. We did back that. I don't know, again. I keep forgetting to check at the top. There is a late pledge, so you can go out and late pledge if you think you would be interested in Earth. All right. So here is the next one. So Kingdoms Forlorn. Ooh, there's mini choras. Kingdoms Forlorn, Dragons, Devils, and Kings. At the dawn of God created the world, and it was good. All right, so Kingdoms Forlorn. You got the game board, big old dragon, little mini choras going around. There's Meeple University, speaking of Meeple University. Bonus unlock for, day one backer, you get that extra tag there. So here's all a bunch of the minis. You got cards.
Lots of me.
More things that were all unlocked. Here's all the unlocks.
Wow.
Look at this thing. Look how big that thing is. And it's got this puppet, like a puppet hand thing, like the king's being controlled by the puppet thing. Got this weird looking thing here with human arms. I don't know. It's just a bunch of weird stuff. Yeah, so dice, combat, dungeon crawling. So you're going to go through a dungeon. It's ever changing. I'm trying to find the thing that. Okay, here we go. So 10,000 succulent fears was $93 for the core box, and then all the unlocked stretch goals, which there was a bunch of unlocked stretch goals, and then the Baron of Bounty Harvest includes the major expansion, which was $100. And then, where's your all in? Oh, the Red Ashen expansion. Okay, so I'm sorry. Each expansion was another $100. So that expansion was 100. This expansion is 100, which adds some other guys. Oh, I guess that's all. You get a big ape troll. Stretch goals, followers, outpost. Do they have a wandering monsters? It's a dungeon crawler. I mean, you're going through and you're trying to fight these bad guys. Is what you're doing. Don't know how. I never paid attention to the rules of this one.
Oh, that makes me doubt so much, William.
Makes you doubt so much. Why?
Because I was gonna say yes, because you kind of like that theme.
All in pledge was $479.
No, because Marvel. No.
This is no. As we go, we're getting later in the month. So Marvel ended like roughly there.
Because you like dungeons and these monsters things.
No, I did not back this one.
Yeah, you know first.
Something about it didn't pull me in. I don't know if it was honestly the monsters and all that are fine, but actually they were just weird monsters. Like it was just weird and strange. And then I can't remember if it's this or another
Monsters are always weird.
No, these were just weird. They were just
Really?
weird. They
Are
were
they
weirder.
Ugly? Like
They're just
trypophobia?
no. They were just weird. Like I told the king. Yeah, it has this Eggman guy, Egg Knight,
I see.
and then you got.
Okay.
Yeah, this weird thing I showed you. I mean, the dragon. Then you got this weird big toad guy. Something about it just didn't pull me in. Everybody was talking about it. Legion of Games did his review. He actually has Egg Knight and he carries Egg Knight around with him. It was very it had like this comedy thing going in it. Nothing really drew me in. And it had tons of minis. And I stopped paying attention to it before it got to 400 and something bucks for the all-in pledge. Yeah, I stopped following it before it ever got to that price. Like even at the 130, if this would have been everything for one, I still probably wouldn't have backed it then. I don't know. Maybe I made a bad decision. You guys can let us know in the comments what I'm missing. Nothing drew me in for this as a dungeon crawler. Plus we have a couple dungeon crawlers coming in. So, that was the other reason. So this is by the same. This is Into the Unknown. This is the same people that made Aeon Trespass, which we are getting. So I'm kind of like, I'm already getting a big campaign style game from them. And that was one of the things people were talking about was like the comparison between the two. Do you really need both? And I think in a lot of cases they were saying like, no, you really don't. Right? Okay, so I forgot about that. Yeah, this was Into the Unknown, which we've already backed a game for them last year. Tindaya Deluxe Edition. So in Tindaya, you got some, I don't even know where the price shows of what I backed. I'm not sure if it does on Gamefound. I need to remember. I need to log into these on private mode. So on Tindaya, so you've got these gods that you're basically trying to take over the island, and they are trying to defend their island. So you see here, so you're trying to go through, you're trying to take over these island places, and then your opponents can play cards that cause the ships to come after you, they cause the gods to come after you. So here it is. Dawn of the 15th century, conquistadors have their sights on the archipelago. Oh, that's in Espanol. Gracias. Known as the Canary Islands. So basically, it's kind of based on these gods from that region. And over 3 areas, you're basically going to try to take over the islands, and then whoever has the most area control at the end of the game basically wins. But yeah, there's some minis. You got your box, your tiles, your tribes. What we're looking for is the price. There you go. So the deluxe edition, which includes all the minis and all the plastic, was $78. Euros, yeah. So 78 euros. And then these were all the unlocked upgrades that they unlocked. So lots of stuff that they upgraded and unlocked. And then those are the other people that are going to be publishing it. And then how to play. So they just show. So you got cards. You got these flipping things that occur. Tiles, tokens. Oh, it's not showing you everything. Oh. Yeah, like if he explodes the volcano, it destroys everything that the other person has built up. Here, the water one, he basically floods all the islands.
I'd say C.
No, I didn't back this one. Something about it just didn't pull me in. And I think again it was partly price. Like the price of this, I think was more than what I really wanted to at $80. And what you were getting in the deluxe edition were the plastic things, and I really didn't care for the way the plastic minis looked. I really didn't care for them, and I think the regular version of the game, when it comes to retail, is going to be less than $80. It'll probably be closer to 50, and it will have it'll be the exact same game without the insert and without the minis. So, which is weird for me to say. The game, the minis turned me off, which is very rare. But sometimes I feel like the minis aren't something I want, and if the game without the minis looks almost as good, and the other deluxe upgrades aren't exclusive, then there's no reason for me to back that one. So, no, did not back Tindaya, the deluxe edition. Right? So the next one here is Dominoes on steroids. That's what we'll call it. So it's called Sum 8. So basically what you're trying to do is you're laying your tiles, and your tiles have to match very similar to dominoes.
Okay.
Correct. And then if you make certain patterns, you're going to score points. So this is the regular edition. And then they also had this Kickstarter edition, which was like wood print with gold pips. But here you go. So basically you arrange the game board. You can do different shapes, different arrangements to make it change. And then you have to match tiles that add up to 8. So basically you got here, you can either match the tiles, so 1, 1, 1, right? So these all match. Or you got 5, so you could put a 3, and that makes 8. The other thing is you can move tiles, and then boom, you made multiple sets by doing that, see? So you move that tile, that made that 8, that made that 8, that made that 8, that made that 8. So you get all these combos for doing that. So 1 match, 2 match, you get additional points for doing extra matches. And then by making a big 8, because remember, it's a circle as an 8, you get more points because you made a number 8 out of the dominoes.
I don't know. It's not your type. It's not your type of game, but.
Oh, do you want to know the price? Did I show you the price? Oh, it comes in a baggie. Muy importante. Comes in a baggie. Oh, there is Chrissy. 2 sheep, 1 wheat. Nerd shells. There is Unfiltered Gamer. There you go. So $35 for the, or Canadian dollars for the classic edition. So that's about, what is that, $28? And $95 for the Kickstarter edition.
95.
Which would be about, I don't know the conversion.
Well, I will say yes.
Yes. Yes, I did back this.
Familia would like to play it, and I do.
That's exactly why. One of the reasons was I thought it looked interesting. I thought that was kind of neat. It's a little puzzly type game. You like puzzly games. It's also language independent, meaning we can take this down and play with family.
My familia loves dominoes.
She loves dominoes. Oh, see, that works.
My dad and my mom.
Oh, so that's great. So it was $35. That's not bad. I don't know what that is to US. I was half tempted because they added, they had already ran out of the Kickstarter. I was half tempted to upgrade to the Kickstarter because it does look really good. But I think they ended up running out of the Kickstarter editions. Where are they at? Yeah, Kickstarter edition. Yeah, so they ran out, and then they added more, and they ran out again. So we got the regular version. So that's great. I mean, it's fine. But this one did look a little nicer. Like this would be one of those ones where maybe you could like leave it laid out on a table if you had like glass over top of it. It would just look cool as a centerpiece. So that is Sum 8. Let me see here. Do they have the late pledges open? So they do have the pre-order open. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go out and do the pre-order. All right. Getting down to the end. All right. So this is Lobotomy II Manhunt by Titanforge. So in Lobotomy 2, you're basically in an insane asylum. You're having to navigate around the insane asylum, and creatures or things are trying to come after you. And the question is it in your imagination? Are you imagining it all? Or are they real and they're really trying to get you, right? So you and your cohorts or your other insane asylum people are trying to go through, and it's a campaign game where you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to do. You're trying to accomplish something. Beat up the big baddie at the end, I guess. That's how all these games work. There's just a big baddie at the end of the scenario that you have to beat up. So you have cards, you're going to upgrade your weapons, you're rolling dice for combat. The core game, €79, only on GameFound. That which comes in the core game. This, even though it says Lobotomy 2, is not a expansion. It's kind of like a re-implementation sequel. So they took what they knew from Lobotomy, they improved upon it, and then they created this instead. So it's very similar, but it's different, so they're not the same. Okay. They have the Inferno, which was the expansion, so that basically gives you like demons and fire people and stuff like that. So the Madness Pledge was 200. That gave you everything, including some of the extra expansions, which we'll show you down below. The Admission is just the main game plus the stretch goals. Sanity, the main game plus the Inferno expansion. And then the All-In, which gave you the main game, the expansions, and they took all the characters from the first game, all the monsters and characters from the first game, and they added them in. So they didn't add the first game, they just added all the characters and monsters, and then they're going to have a pack of cards so you can actually play them in this version of the game. So stretch goals, lots of stuff that they unlocked. Add-ons, so here's the add-ons. So for example, the villain ward here is, it's kind of like they do those, I don't know a parody. Parody, they make, it's when they take something and they can't actually make that thing, so then they make a version of it. Now, parody is when you make fun of something else. Weird Al Yankovic does parodies. Oh, what is it called? I can't think of it. It's when, like, they can't put the Joker, the Penguin, and Harley Quinn in their game, because that's owned by DC. I forget what that's called. Yeah, but that's what this is. So this is supposed to be the Joker, but it's not the Joker. No, an analogy is when you make a
something is something to, like, something is something
of something. Yeah, but no, this is there's a word for this when they can't use the real one, so they make parody is the best way for me to say it. It's not the real one; it's a pretend version of it. So, but yeah, that's what it is. So this is like the DC guys. This here is the Jazz Awards. You know the artist Jazza. We watch his stuff that he does on YouTube. So he's in it, but then he also took like Bob Ross, I think Leonardo da Vinci, and stuff like that. So he got to create characters. So they're supposed to be like, they're crazy. They've lost their mind. This one here is based on the most popular characters from the first one. And I think that's because they weren't sure if they were going to be able to bring the first one into the second one. So they created this. This is from Sucker Punch. Not sure what he's from. Not sure what he's from off the top of my head right now. And then you have like your, the classic characters and stuff. Like I said, they added those. And then, so here's all the stuff that they comes with. All this stuff. More stuff.
Are there monsters?
Yeah, there's monsters.
Normal?
Yeah, they're just like this is just some kind of big winged flaming monster. This is like a big demon monster.
I'll say yes.
Yes, I did back this one. So I was on the fence and I was almost going to unback at the last minute, and I think we were out somewhere, and it ended. So it ended up charging me anyways. So I did back this one. I backed this one at the all-in. Why? Because for whatever reason, I feel like I need to have everything, even though we will never be able to play everything. We'll never be able to get all this to the table. Some of the other cool stuff, I didn't show you this, is they have like parodies of Harry Potter. So Harry Potter really wasn't a wizard. He was just crazy. And then they have like a Slytherin, I think was one of the original monsters. Yeah, there he is, Harry Potter. So they have like a Harry Potter, but he's called Harold. What is it? Harold? Oh, Thunderscar, because he's got the thunderbolt on his head, right? There's Elle from Lisa Let It Go from Frozen.
That is what you're saying, a parody.
Yeah, it's like a parody, but yeah. CMON does it a lot. So a lot of times CMON in their games, same thing. They can't put these characters from movies in their games, but they can make a parody of it. So I think parodies is the best thing. Leona Tin Crow, so this is supposed to be like Alice in Wonderland, Dorothy. Or no, I'm sorry, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. So yeah, so it's just a lot of fun things like that. And then in the original, there was Daleks. Or no, it was the Weeping Angels somewhere. No, that's from the Deep. Where are the Weeping Angels? There's Weeping Angels, so there's like Doctor Who stuff in here. So it's really fun. So that is really what got me, is the parodies is what got me into this. The theme, I'm figuring, Adri might not like as much, right? But I also wanted to kind of see how it compares to Zombicide, because this feels very similar to Zombicide in the terms of the way you're navigating and you're finding loot and you're upgrading your items. So it feels very similar to that, just a different genre, right? This, you're in an insane asylum and you've got weird police officer and dog creatures coming after you, right? Zombicide, you got zombies coming after you, right? So, all right, so that is Lobotomy 2, which we did back, so we'll be getting that at some point. Put the mouse over the cursor where it needs to be. All right. So this is, what is this? Oh, I was looking at it. This is Ahau, Rulers of the Yucatán. So
Yeah.
you didn't even see anything about it yet.
Okay.
So here you go. So you got worker placement, building tiles, Mayan glyphs, and then you're just got these little temples up there that you're trying to build. So what's in the box? Dual layer boards. You have different factions that you can play as. You got this map that you're going to play off of, your worker placement, building tiles, lots of stuff. There's your pyramid temples. And then let's see, where is the how to play? This is the problem with us doing them so much later than normal, because if we do it at the end of the month, it's still a little fresh in my mind. So I can't remember a lot of this. Movement phases. So you select region, simultaneously all players select 2 region cards from their hand, place one face up. Conflict. So there's fighting when workers go to the same spot. Select your tile so you can get your resources. Place a worker. Oh, so the other one wasn't a worker. I guess that's your ruler. And then you place your worker. Summon the gods. Produce ingredients. Build things. I guess whoever builds their pyramid first wins.
Yeah.
No. So I did not back this one. I honestly don't remember why. I mean, I know we're going to get Yucatán. That's the other one, the one that we played on Tabletop Simulator. We're getting that, and I felt like getting 2 of the same was too much. Something about this one I just didn't stick with me. I don't know why. Because it wasn't too bad in price. It's $80 for the all-in, which included the expansion. But some reason I didn't feel this one. So I don't know. I'll probably just wait to see reviews when the reviews come out and see if it's, maybe I missed something, because you can always miss something, and then we just have to get it retail. And I don't remember what the Kickstarter exclusive was. Maybe there wasn't any. Don't remember. All right. So that is Ahua. 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 Ahawa. Ahua.
Ahau?
Ahau.
No?
I don't know. It's Yucatán. I don't speak Yucatán. We can pretend Spanish, but I don't think that is right. All right. So this is 51st State, the Ultimate Edition. Now, whether or not this will be his last edition or not, who knows? Because he makes a lot of money on this. So this is Z Garcia's #1 game of all time. 51st State. So you've got post-apocalyptic world that you are trying to build off of. So this is by Portal Games. This is the same company that did like Imperial Settlers, stuff like that. There's your things. Hang on, we're trying to get to stretch goals, add-ons. Here you go. How to play. Oh, that's a video. All right. So you draft new cards. Basically, you pick new cards each round to your tableau. You play them into your tableau, and then you're going to activate their abilities. So that way you can get more things like weapons, guns, fuel, things like that. Once you perform the action, so here, for example, production, get 1 gas tank and 1, bullets, I think those are. Yeah, it looks like bullets, right? You can make a deal. So say you don't want to actually play that card into your tableau, you can make a deal, basically trade. You add it to the top, and that means at the beginning of your turn, you're going to get that as an extra resource at the beginning of your turn. You can raise a location, basically means that you are going to your opponent and using theirs, and that gives you some resources. You can use the actions from your faction board, basically to activate a card. Produce from another player. Oh, that's there. That you produce from the other player's location. So some locations are shared, so you can go over there. Take a play, connecting cards. So just different card plays. So basically, it's a tableau building where you're building out your city. And that's why I mentioned Imperial Settlers. Kind of like Imperial Settlers, but it's got more things going on, I think. And then it's in a post-apocalyptic setting instead of a Viking setting. And end of game, same as Imperial Settlers, right? Once you get to 25, then you add up all the victory points, and whoever has the most wins.
Let's say no.
Yes, I did back this one. Yeah, because of the hype. It really was. We like Empires of the North. We like Imperial Settlers. This is supposed to take everything that was good about those and make it better. So I did back this one. The actual full pledge, not the group edition, the Ultimate Edition pledge was 80 euros. So I think it was close to $100. That gave you the whole thing plus the plus all the stretch goals. I think there was one add-on that you had to add. Oh no, we didn't have to add it because we actually got it because we had pre-subscribed. So definitely getting it. I want to compare it to that one. I think that's the other thing. I want to see how it works different. The theme for me is fine. We'll have to watch Mad Max and maybe that'll get you into this kind of theme. But I think that might be the only downfall of this one compared to Imperial Settlers is the theme. So we did back it. That is 51st State Ultimate Edition. Right now it doesn't look like they've got the late pledging open, but they should open that up at some point in the future. 2 more. So we got 2 more. So this is Unsettled, the board game. It's got all these boxes. So this already came out. So there's a lot of review content around it. And they were adding more planets, is basically what this Kickstarter did. So figure it out or die. So it's basically a puzzle game where you have tiles and they're all flipped over and it's a planet. And you're going down to the planet and you're using these dice to take actions. And you can only take so many turns with the dice before they're exhausted. And then you have to do like rest actions and stuff like that to bring them back. So they call it is a series of survival puzzles set in bizarre, wondrous depth of the cosmos. Each play represents your crew that visit a strange world, its own environment, special rules and challenges to overcome. A shared, not dying experience. All players continuously work against the game where you succeed, continue living, or fail, the other thing, together. There's a lot of little, that's another thing. That's kind of a hint at how their story building is. They kind of got a little tongue-in-cheek jokes in it, but not like overdone, right? Is the way that anybody who's reviewed it has been saying about it. The boxes are very weird. The shape is very weird. So storage is going to be fun. Let me see if they show me things. You get game tray inserts. So each one of the planets are going to be different. So there's a whole bunch of planets. They're going to keep on going. More planets, more planets, more planets, another planet. Solar system's huge. Free community pack for Kickstarter, of course. You get your promos. Scientific specialization add-on, which gives you more abilities. Synthesizer, that's a pretty dice there, isn't it? More add-ons, more stuff. Pledge levels, here we go. So the Nebula tier, this is just getting the new things, the 5 new things. Constellation gives you kind of a starting point. It gives you the base game plus 2 of the planets. Supernova basically gives you everything. So it gives you the game, the new stuff, and all the original planets. So there's a total of 9 planets total.
So if you buy everything,
So to get everything that they've released is, well, 210 without sleeves, 250 with sleeves.
I mean, space.
Space, puzzle solving,
Puzzle solving.
flipping over cards.
Yes.
You're going to die a lot. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, I did back this one. And unfortunately, as my weakness does, it was the 210 Supernova, no sleeves, all in pledge. Again, not sure how we would ever get all this played. It's one of those situations where we've mentioned about our membership, and if once we get enough members and the members come out to our live streams, this would be one of those days where we would do this. We would do these campaigns, and we could probably do multiple, like a Saturday. Real good for like Extra Life Day, stuff like that, right? Where we need to play for 12 hours. Well, each one of these boxes is probably 2 hours. So that's probably the best chance of us getting to play through everything. But I didn't want to just get the little stuff, and then, because here's the biggest reason, unfortunately, being a content creator, is I could have gone with
Just one.
this and gotten just the 2 new boxes, but there weren't just 2 new boxes, there were 3.
That's what I. That's
So
why
it's
I was not sure. If
Yeah,
I know.
so like I would need to get this plus the core box as a minimum as a content creator, because we would want to play all of these when they come out, right? Because that's 3 videos. So very hard. So for me, I just said, oh well, get it all, right? Just get it all, call it a day. Worst case scenario, we sell it on eBay. That's always the worst case scenario. All right, so we have one left. So Adri is trying not to look. All right, so the last one is
So cute.
Zombie Puppies. It is cuteness.
Oh my god.
They're Zombie Puppies. It is a strategic card game. Support this project and get a copy before anybody else. So basically you are playing either zombie, you're trying to either infect your opponent or try to win by curing the zombie plague. So that's basically what you're trying to do. You can either win by getting 3 healing serums, or you can win by turning the zombie players into 5 infected zombies. So you choose your zombie, don't let your zombie puppy become infected, infect others with infectious diseases. Here are your puppies with bones, and then basically there are strategy and action, so action cards, research cards. It's just a simple versus game where it's one versus the other, and you're either infecting or curing the zombie puppies. Here we go. So the early puppy was $18. The puppy friend, which is if you missed the early, was €20. So that's about $25. That was about $20. And then shipping, I don't know what shipping was. €122. Oh, you get 7 games. The easiest way to find shipping is go down to risks. Shipping's usually right above risks. There you go. And then shipping to the US is another $10.
See.
No.
No.
I guess I'll be late backing it. I didn't back it because I didn't think you would like the theme of
Because the
infecting
zombies?
puppies with zombies.
Sí, it's true.
It was cute.
But it's cute because you can heal them too.
See, so I'll be paying. I will have to pay more money
No,
because
it's
I did not early
No,
back.
mi amor. No, you don't have. But look at that. Looks like Bellita.
That's cute little puppy. All right, so that is zombie puppies. We did not back it. We might be backing
Oh,
it.
the virus.
And those are the viruses. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to webcam only. All right. You gotta like that one in. How you doing? All right, guys, so that is what we backed in, or what I backed, and what she tried to guess of whether or not I backed in February. This is a little bit late. We will have our March one up, hopefully, within the first week of April. But we've been doing stuff around the house. We've been trying to do renovations because we are trying to sell our house. I am planning to move to Florida. But if you like this kind of video or would like to see something different or have ideas of how you would like to see this video, let us know down in the comments. If you want to watch any of the games I said that we are getting, your unboxings, live gameplay, what have you, what do they got to do?
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Activate notifications.
Activate notifications.
And all the YouTube stuff.
All that YouTube stuff.
All the YouTube stuff. Yes, like that.
But until next time, guys.
Adios.
Peace.